Hi guys. So I wanted to read you a little clip from the discourse, and this is going to be from the way through. And this is a separate book, as I mentioned. This is like more the main book. The other ones were the pre-writing. So this is coming from the channeling now that kind of moved past the pre-writings. And so this is what I've really been engulfed in lately, and so I haven't really been doing any other like videos, things like that. I'm kind of limited on the sessions that I do, but I do want to read you a little clip from this so that way you have some understanding of what this book is going to be like. Now, it's not going to be your typical English language, that we learn in school, but it's information, how it comes to me, and I'm going to keep it in its original form. So it's something that you're going to have to sit and contemplate with. You'll be able to understand it in the way that it's being written, but you do have to sit down and spend some time with it. So just taking it in little bits by bit. That way it makes sense to you. So it's kind of for contemplating, right? So you're going to really need to want to contemplate this. That way you can understand it, right? And the only reason I'm not taking and putting it into like our English language, because I don't want to mistranslate it or anything like that, and I want to keep it as it is in pure form, as it's coming through. So I don't want to mess with any of the wording, because that can change the way we see things, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm just going to read this little part here. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So it says, thereby I bring myself unto itself in him, which is not H-I-M, but H-Y-M-N, in him which is in resonance, to that which is Abraham. So Abraham is not, of the Bible, where they said he went to go whatever. I've never really fully read the Bible, so I don't know. But this Abraham is speaking of that which brings you to your higher point from where you are. Right? And I'll just read more. So, to that which is Abraham, meaning to be of Abraham, to be of source. So, for you to be of Abraham, which brings the knowledge and wisdom from source. So, like the relation, right? And then that is which is the relation of itself unto itself in him, which is H-Y-M-N. So not him as in male, as we know ourselves as human, to that which you are for understanding, right? So Abraham helps you connect for your understanding of where you are from source, right? So it's that connection, that intelligence, that awareness. Because we're in this form, we are source, but we're not source. Right, we're in this physical form, so it's kind of like this duality, this reality that we're in physical form, from true self, source, right? Or you can call it God, whatever you want to call it. It's really up to you. I call it source, so that way when I speak of source, you know what I'm talking about. So in him, to that which you are for understanding, meaning to understand itself in being to that which you already are of human form, right? Also, it doesn't matter what form you take. There's still an understanding between you and that relationship between source. So you could be an animal, a plant, a tree, whatever it is, whatever form you take. There's still that connection, right? Because we're all one, right? No matter how we show up, it's all one. Right? Where you already are, which is where it is that you are now. So now, me being in the physical form, where am I now? Right? Am I in my presence of being with source, my divine connection, or am I in my physical realm being the human? Where am I now? Am I in the space of being angry and hated, or hateful, or loving, or kind? Where am I now, right? Present moment now, right? So no matter where I am now, I still have that guidance to where I can get to where it is that I'm connected to source. So we're never left disconnected And it may seem that way because we step out of alignment, but we still have that access no matter where we are in the space. And it's just bringing yourself into the space of now, right? To have them, because like when we're in panic, a lot of times we're not fully functioning, to the highest capacity to where we can bring ourselves into a state of peace, right? So we have to maneuver from our state now, current, to the space of our connection or to peace, right? So it doesn't matter. We still have access to the current moment and now, right? And it's just being present with that. So it doesn't matter what or where you are. Being to that which you already are of, which is where it is that you are now. So it could be like your physical form, could be your presence, your understanding, could be your awareness, could be your emotionals, wherever it is that you are now in the present moment. That you are being, meaning it doesn't matter what or where you are, you still have access unto itself in being that which you are in relation to, you still are, which is that which is source, because you are source, right? No matter where you are, your experience, your perception, your reality, you still have that divine connection because you are part of it. You're part of it all, right? And so you still are, which is that which is source, okay? Relation. Now there's a difference between related and relation, which is another part of the book. So you're related to anything that is not source. So whatever you make up, like your perceptions, your reality, you believe you're human, you believe you're related to like your family, and that's genetics, right? So you come through them and you're a part of it, but you're not it. Right? So there's a difference between relation and related, which is explained in the book. So your relation is source. Your related is your experience, your personhood, your beliefs. All right? All right. So you still are, which is that which is source relation. Right? You have that divine connection, meaning you are of the descendant of source, not separate of it. But you cut yourself off in believing in other things that which loses access to itself in being source, thereby to believe you are not of it, which is to lose your access, right? So now when you lose access to itself being of it, which is source relation. So whenever you have belief systems and you believe you're, I'm a human, or I believe, in religion, which by the way is not real, it's made up, it's a belief system. And that explains it in the book too, about Jesus, it's not being your savior, and it just kind of explains a whole and clears up a lot of misconceptions about our reality and our understanding about everything. And you got to remember, a long time ago, those are concepts that they had at the time, and they didn't have the awareness, so they tried to Jesus as their savior because he knew more, not because he was there to save them. So he was their guidance, not their savior, because nobody can save you, only you, right? So you got to understand the concept and the wording and what is actually being said. So when we cut ourselves off, right, it goes on to say that we don't have access to source relation. We are then become related, which is by our experience, and we're in that space, which is the present moment, which would be the now. So even in the now, when we're cutting ourselves off, we still have access, right? We just have to be aware that we have that access no matter where we are, right? It's that cutting off that we can't see it, and it creates the veil. All right. So, and then it says, thereby the relation, which is of the third world, which is our realm that we live in now, right? The 3D world. Unto itself in being, that which is related unto itself in him, which is HYMN. So if we're not related to source, if we're not in relation of source, we're related to everything else, right? So we communicate on this level in a different way than we would with source, right? So we would communicate together like I'm doing now. I'm speaking, I am communicating in another way than I would source, right? So there's two different aspects. And that's all there ever is. There's only two different aspects, that which is and that which isn't. All right. So now that which is related unto itself in him, which is not H-I-M again, because it's always in resonance. It has nothing to do with anything related to male, female, gender, race, things like that we make up, which is ignorance in itself, but that's another topic, right? So it's in him, H-Y-M-N, resonance to what you are being unto itself. So what am I being? Am I being human? Am I being, the mother, the father, the brother, the sister? Am I being a teacher? Am I being a lawyer? All those different scenarios or identities of self that we put ourselves into the concepts of being, which are false illusion. And so when we have that, that's what we're related to, which is that knowledge, that realm, that world, right? That's where we're pulling in the information. That's what we're sending out, and we're living in that space of the experience, right? That's the experience. When we have the resonance of him, H-Y-M-N, in source, we have that access, right? So we have access to both. So we're kind of like in the middle, and it's whatever we want to be and project ourselves to be, we become, right? Because it's all intention, our will, our free will, our intention, a part of it. But that all kind of goes in there. But I just wanted to read a little clip so it gives you an idea about the book, what I'm writing. Well, I'm not writing it, but I'm channeling, bringing the information in. And even for me, this is a great way for me I have the knowledge and understanding from my awakening, but it's a great way for me to put things more into perspective, so that way I can see it. And I cannot wait till this book is done so I can just sit down and read it fully, because it's just going to be such a great space to be in for me. If you're interested in something like this and you're awakening and you're on the journey and you want to understand, this is a great thing for you to take up. And you can start with the books I have on Amazon already. They're the pre-writings where it all started. And then I'm going to do, a little clip on that, because that's interesting how it came for me to write, right? So this is trying to get a book, this book here, the way through. And then I have another one, I think I'm going to call it like the journey forward or something like that, the way forward. But this is going to be the way through, part of the discourse. So this is all the channeling of Abraham, not really of Abraham, but all of the knowledge of source through Abraham that's coming. And I am, so I am is in there. And so yeah, this is that part of the book, but I'm going to talk about my journey of awakening in a different book, but I also have the pre-writings. So there's two of those out there. That's where it all started back in 2014. All these writings started commencing for me, and I really didn't have an idea. My person didn't have an idea of what was going on, but obviously my soul did. So this is something that needs to be done, because it's something that's come to me. I didn't know that I was supposed to do it until it came to me, but I'm going to make another video on that separately for that, to go over that experience, because that was really interesting. My whole journey so far since 2010 has been interesting. It's been quite intriguing, so I have a lot of stories. But yeah, that's just a little clip from the book. I'm still working on this one, so I don't know when it's going to be done, because it seems like there's so much stuff that comes through in it. But as soon as it's done, I will let everybody know, and it'll be out for you to get. But definitely get the pre-books, 1 and 2. It's on Amazon.com. Just, if you look up my name, Laura Molecavage, or look up, the Way Through Discourse, I Am, by Laura Molecavage. It's on Amazon. You'll be able to find it. It's on there. All right. Have a great day. If you have any questions, just, feel free to reach out. Happy journeys.